giggles George. George wants to go on a helter-skelter, says Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig and George head off to the helter-skelter. I have a feeling that your dad might regret that decision. What do you think? Roll up, cries Miss Rabbit. Hook a duck and win a giant teddy. I'll try and win one for you, Peppa, says Mummy Pig. But I don't think it's that easy. It's impossible, laughs Miss Rabbit. We'll see about that, cries Mummy. Your Mummy doesn't like being told that she can't do something, does she? She's a bit like you, really. Is that where you get it from? Yeah. Splosh! Mummy Pig has hooked a duck. Hooray! Cries Peppa. That's amazing, cries Miss Rabbit. Here's your giant teddy. Wouldn't you like a little teddy instead, Peppa? No way, giggles Peppa happily. You like your teddies, don't you? George and Daddy Pig are at the helter-skelter. It's a bit high, George. Are you sure you want to have a go? Asks Daddy Pig. George giggles and runs up the stairs to the top. It's a bit too high and George starts to cry. Don't worry, George. I'll come up with you, says Daddy Pig. This decision is getting worse and worse by the minute, Peppa. Peppa and Mummy Pig are at the Hit the Target store. You can do that easily, Mummy, says Peppa. Oh, you won't win, laughs Mr. Labrador. Women are useless at this. What a thing to say! Oh, he hasn't reckoned on Mummy Pig, has he? What did you say? Says Mummy Pig crossly. She picks up the bow and arrow and aims. Whoosh! The arrow hits the target right in the middle. Mummy Pig wins again. Unbelievable, cries Mr. Labrador. Here's your teddy. Hooray, cries Peppa. Now she has 2 giant teddies. Really? Daddy Pig and George are riding on the big wheel. George loves it, but Daddy Pig is a little bit scared. He's a scaredy cat, your dad, isn't he? This really is high, says Daddy Pig as the big wheel goes round and round. Hee hee, snort, giggles George. He loves it, doesn't he? Daddy Pig and George find Peppa and Mummy Pig. Hit this button with a hammer, says Mr. Bull. If the bell rings, you win a prize. I'll have a go, says Daddy Pig. Stand back. I think you're a bit wobbly from the big wheel, says Mummy Pig. Yes, he's looking a bit green in the picture. Ho ho, laughs Mr. Bull. Daddy Pig is looking a bit shaky. What? Says Mummy Pig crossly. Give me that hammer. Whack! Mummy Pig hits the button as hard as she can. The bell rings loudly. Ding, ding, ding. She really is strong, your mum, isn't she? Everyone is very impressed. Mummy Pig wins all the giant teddies at the fair. Hooray, cheers Peppa. And she gives all of her friends 1 giant teddy bear each.
Peppa Pig!
Hooray! Everyone cheers. We love fun fairs. Oh, Peppa, that was really nice of you, sharing all those teddy bears. But you didn't really need all of them, did you?
Very kind.
No. Shall we read another story? This one is the biggest muddy puddle in the world. I think there might be a few of those outside. What do you think, Peppa?
There's lots of them.
Lots of muddy puddles. Once upon a time, Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig were tucking Peppa and George into bed. There's so much rain, Peppa said. That means there will be muddy puddles to jump in tomorrow, Mummy Pig smiled. The splish, splash, splosh of the raindrops on the window sang Peppa and George to sleep, dreaming of muddy puddles And there they are, tucked up in bed with their teddy and their dinosaur.
I think they're
Yeah,
snoring.
dreaming of jumping in muddy puddles.
Oh, that's Peppa Pig.
While Peppa and George slept, it rained and rained and rained.
Ah, just like this morning.
So much water. It rained so much that the next morning, when Daddy Pig ran out to jump in muddy puddles, he landed straight in a massive pool of water. Oh, who put all this water here? Daddy Pig said as he swam back to the house. And where are the muddy puddles? Said Peppa. Our house is like a desert island, Peppa laughed, looking at all the water. Oh dear, Mummy Pig said. How will we get our food? Oh no, Peppa, you won't have any dinner. Grandma Pig and Grandpa Pig arrived on their boat. Ahoy there, Grandpa Pig said. Wonderful boating weather. Do you need anything from the shop?
Yes.
Granny Pig asked. Can we come too? Peppa said.
Crisp.
Yes, then you can help us get the shopping for everyone. Oh, that's a good idea. Help everybody out. Polly can be our shopping list. She's very good at remembering things, Granny Pig said, beaming at Polly. Who's a clever parrot? Squawk! Who's a clever parrot? Did you like that? That's my parrot voice. It's good, isn't it? Polly copied. Polly was good at copying what people said.
Who's the clever parrot?
Peppa, George, Grandpa Pig, Granny Pig and Polly Parrot sailed across the water. It was almost as fun as jumping in muddy puddles. Each house was like its own desert island. They sailed from house to boat to submarine, asking if people needed anything from the shops.
Who's that, Seb?
It's a really nice idea. It's a lovely thing to do. Do you need anything from the shop? Chocolate, please, Susie Sheep said. Squawk! Chocolate! Polly Parrot copied. A newspaper and a comic, please, Grandad Pig, Dog and Danny Dog said. Squawk! Newspaper, comic! Polly Parrot copied. Cheese, please, said Grumpy Rabbit. Squawk! Cheese! Polly Parrot copied. She's very good at this. When Grandpa Pig's boat arrived at the supermarket, Miss Rabbit was all alone. Oh, it's silly, she said. A little bit of rain and everyone stays at home. What can I get for you? Polly has a list, Peppa said proudly. Polly Parrot opened her beak and said, Who's a clever parrot? Who's a clever parrot? Oh dear, Polly Parrot has forgotten the list.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, I've turned up. Gone the wrong way, Peppa. Oh, there we are. Luckily, Peppa remembered what everybody wanted.
Ooh, good.
Grandpa Pig sailed back from submarine to boat to house. Cheese, Peppa said. Thank you, Peppa, Grampy Rabbit said. Newspaper and comic, Peppa said. Thanks, Peppa, Grandad Dog and Danny Dog said. It was lucky Peppa was going to the shops, said Mummy Sheep, or else we'd have nothing for dinner. Here's your chocolate, Susie, Peppa said. Oh, said Mummy Sheep. Yeah, I'm not sure that chocolate is really a suitable dinner. No, not really. Carrots are good for dinner, yes. Peppa and George arrived back home in the evening. Did you have fun sailing with Grandpa? Mummy Pig asked. Yes, I remembered what everybody wanted, Peppa yawned. But there were no muddy puddles. George snorted in agreement. Maybe there will be some muddy puddles tomorrow, Daddy Pig said. Do you think there were? Do you? The next morning, the sun was shining brightly in the clear blue sky. Polly Parrot flew with a sprig of leaves in her beak to show them all that the water had gone. She landed on Grandpa Pig's boat that was now stuck on Peppa's front lawn. Oh! Granny Pig said, looking out of the boat. I wonder what kind of mess the flood has left. And what did they see?